Look who just triggered the algorithm. Look who just set off alarms in rooms you'll never enter. Look who just became interesting to people who don't get interested easily. Yeah, you. Sit down, because what I'm about to tell you isn't a theory, it's not motivation, it's not some feel-good garbage to get you through your day. This is reconnaissance. This is intel. This is the conversation that's happening about you right now, in spaces where your name just got written down. And trust me, when your name hits certain lists, when certain eyes start tracking your movements, when powerful people start whispering, "Keep watching that one," everything changes. Not because the world shifted, but because you did, and they noticed, and now they're watching. Not out of concern, not out of care, but out of calculation, out of curiosity, out of the kind of attention that either destroys you or forges you into something they'll regret noticing. So buckle up, because you just graduated from invisible to undeniable, and there's no going back from here. Let's start with the truth nobody tells you. The moment you become genuinely dangerous, someone writes your name down. Not dangerous like violent, not dangerous like reckless, but dangerous like unpredictable. Dangerous like, we can't control this one. Dangerous like, they're building something we didn't authorize, and it's working. That's when the shift happens. That's when you stop being background noise and become a frequency they can't ignore. And here's what most people don't understand. Being on that list, it's not the beginning of your downfall. It's the confirmation of your arrival. Because mediocre people don't get monitored. Forgettable people don't get discussed. People who play small, who stay quiet, who color inside the lines, they're not worth the resources, the time, the energy it takes to keep tabs on someone. But you've done something, said something, built something, moved in a way that made someone powerful pause and say, "Hold on, who is that?" And now, congratulations, you're marked. They're watching your patterns now, your routines, your associations, the people you talk to, the places you go, the ideas you share, the projects you're building, the silences you keep. They're analyzing your social media with the kind of detail you didn't even know was possible. Tracking not just what you post, but when you post it, who engages, who doesn't, what patterns emerge, what contradictions exist, what vulnerabilities show. They're building a profile, a psychological map, a predictive model of who you are and what you're capable of. And they're doing this not because they hate you, but because they need to understand you. Because people in power, real power, they survive by controlling variables. And you, my friend, just became a variable they can't solve. That's not a threat to you. That's a compliment they'll never give you directly. That's the silent acknowledgement that you matter now, whether they like it or not. Here's what happens when you get marked. First, confusion. You'll notice weird things. Opportunities that feel too convenient. Obstacles that seem too targeted. People who suddenly want to be close to you. People who suddenly want to distance themselves. All without explanation. Conversations that feel like auditions. Questions that sound casual but land like interrogations. You'll feel it before you see it. That shift in the air. That strange new gravity around your life. And most people, when they feel this, they panic. They think they did something wrong. They think they're in danger. They start second-guessing, self-sabotaging, retreating, trying to become invisible again because being seen feels too heavy, too risky, too exposed. But that's the test. That's the filter. That's how they separate the ones who were just lucky from the ones who are built different. Because the ones who shrink when they're marked, they prove the watchers right. They prove they were never really a threat, just a false alarm. But the ones who stand taller, the ones who lean into the attention, the ones who say, "Oh, you're watching? Let me give you a show," those are the ones who change the game. And let's be brutally clear about why you got marked. It wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It wasn't because you're loud or flashy or desperate for attention. It was because you moved differently, you thought differently, you built differently. Somewhere in your journey, you stopped asking for permission and started creating outcomes. You stopped waiting for validation and started generating results. You stopped playing by rules that were designed to keep you small, and you started writing your own. And that's what gets you noticed by people who matter. Because the system, the structures, the hierarchies, they're all designed around predictability. They need people to behave in expected ways so they can manage, control, profit. But when someone starts operating outside those patterns, when someone starts winning without following the script, when someone starts building influence without the approved channels, that's when the alerts go off. That's when someone leans over in a boardroom, a back room, a private conversation, and says, "We need to keep an eye on that one." And your name? It just entered a database you'll never see. Now let me explain how this works, because understanding the mechanism is half the power. When you get marked, you're not dealing with one entity, one organization, one person. You're dealing with a network, a web of interests that overlap, compete, and sometimes align. Could be corporate, could be social, could be political, could be cultural, could be all of the above. The point is, when you become interesting to one node in that network, the information spreads. Not publicly, not obviously, but through channels that move faster than you realize. Your name gets mentioned in a meeting, your work gets analyzed in a report, your trajectory gets modeled in a strategy session. And suddenly, multiple entities are tracking you simultaneously, each for their own reasons, each with their own agenda. Some want to recruit you, some want to neutralize you, some want to copy you, some want to compete with you, some just want to understand you so they can predict you. And you, sitting in your room, living your life, building your thing, you have no idea this entire invisible architecture has assembled around your existence. That's the game. That's the reality. That's the level you just unlocked. And here's where it gets interesting. Truly interesting. Because once you're marked, every move you make gets weighted differently. A casual post becomes a statement. A collaboration becomes an alliance. A silence becomes a strategy. They're not just watching what you do, they're interpreting what it means. They're building narratives around your behavior, trying to figure out your endgame, your motivation, your weakness, your breaking point. They want to know what drives you, what you're afraid of, what you're protecting, what you're chasing, because once they know that, they know how to move around you, how to use you, how to stop you, how to profit from you. And most people, when they realize this level of scrutiny exists, they freeze, they become paranoid, they start performing instead of building. They start managing perception instead of creating value. They become so obsessed with how they're being seen that they forget why they became visible in the first place, and that's the trap. That's the cage they want you to build for yourself. Because a person obsessed with being watched is a person who stops being dangerous. They become predictable again, controllable again, manageable again. But you're not going to fall for that, are you? Because here's the secret they don't want you to know. Being marked is only a curse if you treat it like one. If you understand what's happening, if you accept the new reality without fear, if you use the attention as fuel instead of burden, you become exponentially more powerful. Because now you're not just building in obscurity hoping someone notices. You're building with the full knowledge that someone is watching, someone is paying attention, someone is taking you seriously. And that changes everything. That sharpens your focus. That raises your standards. That forces you to move with intention, precision, excellence. Because you know now, you can't afford mediocrity. You can't afford sloppiness. You can't afford half efforts. Because if you're going to be watched, you might as well be worth watching. If you're going to be studied, you might as well teach a masterclass. If you're going to be marked, you might as well earn it. And that mentality, that shift from fear to fuel, that's what separates the ones who break under observation from the ones who become legendary because of it. Think about every great disruptor in history, every revolutionary, every innovator who changed their field, their industry, their world. The moment they became genuinely dangerous to the status quo, they got marked. Letters were written about them. Files were kept on them. People in power had meetings about them. Some were sabotaged. Some were co-opted. Some were destroyed. But the ones who survived, the ones who thrived, they didn't survive by becoming invisible again. They survived by becoming undeniable. They moved so fast, built so well, created so much value, generated so much momentum that the watchers couldn't keep up. They didn't hide from the attention, they weaponized it. They turned surveillance into amplification. They turned scrutiny into credibility. Because when powerful people are watching you, when they're talking about you, when they're trying to figure you out, that's proof you matter. That's validation you can't buy. That's a signal to everyone else that you're operating at a level most people never reach. And smart people, people who recognize patterns, they notice when someone is being noticed. They see the attention you're getting from people who don't give attention easily, and they think, I need to pay attention too. Now let's talk about why they're really watching you. Because it's not what you think. It's not about stopping you. It's not about destroying you. It's about understanding you. Because people in power, they're not stupid. They didn't get where they are by crushing every threat. They got there by recognizing talent, by identifying patterns, by knowing when to fight and when to fold, when to compete and when to recruit. And when they mark you, when they start tracking you, they're doing triage. They're asking, is this person a threat we need to eliminate or a force we need to harness? Is this someone we can control or someone we need to make a deal with? Is this a trend we need to stop or a wave we need to ride? And until they figure that out, they watch, they wait, they analyze, they test, they send people into your life to see how you respond. They create situations to see how you move. They apply pressure to see if you break or bend or bounce back stronger. This isn't personal. This is business. This is strategy. This is how power protects itself, while staying adaptable enough to absorb new power when it emerges. And here's what makes you genuinely dangerous. You're not asking to be absorbed. You're not begging to be let in. You're not trying to join their club. You're building your own. That's the difference between people who get marked and quickly forgotten versus people who get marked and become permanent fixtures in the landscape. The ones who get forgotten, they were marked because they looked dangerous for a moment, but the second they got attention, they revealed themselves. They got desperate. They got sloppy. They tried to leverage their 15 minutes into something they hadn't earned. They showed their cards too early, asked for too much too soon, made moves that exposed them as amateurs pretending to be professionals. And the watchers, they smiled, wrote them off, moved on. But you're different. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. You're not performing for an audience. You're building something real, something sustainable, something that would exist whether anyone was watching or not. And that authenticity, that focus, that refusal to be distracted by attention or validation or external approval, that's what makes you fascinating to them. That's what makes you dangerous. Because they can't buy you, can't flatter you, can't manipulate you with the usual tools that work on everyone else. So now they're stuck in a dilemma. They can't ignore you because you're growing. They can't control you because you're independent. They can't predict you because you're not following their playbook. And that makes them uncomfortable, because people in power are comfortable when they have options, when they have leverage, when they have control. But with you, they don't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. And that uncertainty, that's what keeps your name on the list. That's what keeps the meetings happening. That's what keeps the watchers watching. Because until they figure out what to do with you, they can't risk losing track of you. And every day you keep building, every day you keep growing, every day you keep moving without their permission, you make their decision harder. You make yourself more valuable, more influential, more difficult to dismiss. You force them to either respect you or reveal themselves by trying to stop you. And either outcome works in your favor. Because respect means access. And opposition means proof you matter enough to threaten them. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening behind the scenes right now. Somewhere, in a conversation you'll never hear, someone is saying your name. They're pulling up your profile, your history, your work. They're showing it to someone else, someone with more power, more resources, more reach. And they're saying, this one is different. This one is moving in ways we didn't expect. This one is building something that could disrupt our plans, our market, our influence. And the powerful person listens, looks, analyzes, and then they say one of three things. Bring them in, or shut them down, or keep watching. And based on what they say, an entire strategy gets deployed around you. People get assigned to you. Resources get allocated to understanding you. Plans get made about how to interact with you, how to approach you, how to test you, how to position themselves relative to your trajectory. And you're just living your life, building your thing, completely unaware that you've become a strategic consideration in rooms where real decisions get made. That's not paranoia. That's not delusion. That's reality, at a certain level. That's what happens when you stop being a consumer and become a creator, when you stop being an employee and become a founder, when you stop being a follower and become a leader, when you stop being noise and become signal. And here's what most people don't realize. Being marked is a test, a brutal, unannounced, multi-layered test of everything you're made of. Because the watchers, they're not just passively observing, they're actively probing, they're applying pressure. They're creating situations designed to reveal your character, your capacity, your ceiling. They want to see how you handle success without letting it corrupt you. They want to see how you handle failure without letting it break you. They want to see how you handle betrayal, competition, isolation, criticism, opportunity, temptation, pressure, praise. They're testing your discipline when nobody's enforcing it. Your integrity when nobody's watching. Or wait, scratch that. When everybody's watching but pretending they're not. They're testing whether your confidence is real or just bravado. Whether your skills are deep or just surface. Whether your vision is genuine or just trendy. Whether you're building something that lasts or just something that looks good right now. And most people fail these tests because they don't even know they're being tested. They think the obstacles are random. They think the betrayals are personal. They think the opportunities are lucky. They don't see the pattern. They don't see the design. They don't see that everything happening around them is a controlled experiment to determine their value, their threat level, their worthiness of continued attention. But now you know. Now you see it. Now you understand that every weird thing happening in your life right now might not be weird at all. It might be deliberate. It might be strategic. It might be someone somewhere testing whether you're the real deal or just another false alarm. And armed with that knowledge, you can respond differently. You can move with intention. You can treat every challenge as an audition. Every obstacle as an opportunity to prove you're not just lucky, you're skilled. Not just confident, you're competent. Not just loud, you're legitimate. Because here's the thing about tests. When you know you're being tested, you can study for them. You can prepare. You can choose how you show up. And when you pass tests that were designed to fail you, when you succeed in situations that were engineered to expose your weaknesses, when you turn every trap into a trampoline, that's when you stop being marked as a question and start being marked as an answer. That's when they stop asking, who is this person? And start asking, how do we work with this person? And let me be clear about something. Not everyone who gets marked makes it to the other side. Most don't. Most crack under the pressure. Most compromise their values for proximity to power. Most sell out their vision for a seat at a table they didn't build. Most get so seduced by the attention that they forget why they were worth attending to in the first place. They become puppets performing for an audience instead of architects building empires. They trade authenticity for approval, innovation for acceptance, revolution for recognition. And the watchers, they love when this happens, because it confirms their worldview. It proves that most people are controllable, predictable, manageable. It reinforces their belief that real threats are rare, that most disruption is temporary, that the system is resilient enough to absorb or expel anything that challenges it. So when you break, when you fold, when you sell your soul for access, you're not just failing yourself, you're validating their assumptions about everyone like you. You're making it easier for them to dismiss the next person who rises. You're becoming a cautionary tale instead of a breakthrough case study. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to be another statistic. Another person who got close to greatness and settled for proximity. Another person who had potential and traded it for comfort. Another person who was marked and couldn't handle the weight. Because you understand something most people don't. Being marked isn't the end of your privacy, your peace, your anonymity. It's the beginning of your legacy. It's the universe saying, okay, you've proven you can build when nobody's watching. Now prove you can build when everybody is. It's the transition from potential to performance, from promise to proof, from interesting to undeniable. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's intense. Yes, it's pressure unlike anything you've felt before. But pressure doesn't break you. Pressure reveals you. It shows what you're really made of beneath the surface, beneath the presentation, beneath the story you tell yourself. And if you're built from the right materials, pressure doesn't destroy you. It refines you. It compresses you into something harder, denser, more valuable. It turns coal into diamonds. It turns heat into energy. It turns observation into elevation. So let's talk about how to move